control of what's going on in our communities as well as what's going on in Washington, D.C. When you hear a situation like that, what, if it's not Amendment 4, what are homeowners to do?
Well, you know, I don't know the specifics of his situation. I would say that there is a lot of anger, and it's not only with regards to development. It's at all levels, you know, in our society. It's the Tea Party is a manifestation of that as well. But I would return to what Commissioner Sorensen said in her op-ed piece a couple of days ago. That doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what's being proposed here. Part of the solution, and I know people are angry, but part of the solution is going to be to provide for better inner-city urban development and revitalization, so people don't have to go out. You know, today in Dade County, if you want to, you can build on 5 acres a home pretty much anywhere in the county outside of the urban development boundary. You can have sprawl, but you can have sprawl in the extreme, where you have very low density covering the entire county. If we are going to start bringing people back into the city, bringing jobs back into the city, residential back into the city, the only way that that's going to be done in most cities in Florida is through allowing changes to the comprehensive plan. You take an old abandoned industrial area, parts of Dade County that are like that, particularly in near Liberty City. You want to be able to make that a residential community or have retail, you got to change the land use. So what I'm saying is, I understand the anger, it's pervasive, it's national, but it is dangerous for this country that the solutions are going to be extreme and worse than the problems that already exist.
Sean Foreman, let's just get to another question and then you can answer on that. Thank you.
My question would be more addressed towards Tom. I'm Sean Foreman. I teach at Barry University. I've got to run and teach. And I spoke about the amendments in Boca last week, and this was the most contentious one. And particularly the mayor of Boca Raton mentioned, well, what happens if Amendment 4 passes? Who's responsible for informing the voters on the subsequent referendums? And there could be thousands of them. And I guess the language says the local planning agency would. So cities and counties are going to have to pay for materials to inform the voters? That's the first part. And then the second part is, what's to stop the city clerk or the city from skewing the information favorable towards a project that they want to see passed?
Okay, let me answer. First of all, I have a copy of Amendment 4 here, and there is nothing in it that requires the city to do anything as far as information. As far as but I want to go back to this situation where it talks about Amendment 4. The reality is regardless of what one's political beliefs are, empowering the people, empowering voters is something that is a good thing. It's something that we should rely upon. This gentleman here in his neighborhood association, they should be empowered to have a say in if there's a land use change that's going to adversely affect them. And I can tell you, if I heard this gentleman's story and I lived in a different area of town, I'm sure going to vote against a land use amendment that's adversely going to affect him, because I believe that the American people, fundamentally, we do care about each other, and we will look out for each other if we see something that's an injustice. And I think the question is really good as far as he says, well, you know, this person says throw out the baby with the bathwater. The reality is those who are against Amendment 4 offer no solution that would change the existing system. So if you like the existing system, then you might as well vote against Amendment 4, and things like this gentleman said over here are going to continue to happen. What this woman said over here concerning the Miami River are going to continue to happen. And the reason it's going to continue to happen is because you have the elected officials and local campaigns are funded primarily by developer and the development industry, and you have the developers who are over there persuading people. And the reality is all you are is you're in your home, you're trying to work, you're trying to make a living, and your interests aren't getting looked out for. Well, you know what? Amendment 4 gives you that vote.